Hello to all my friends out there. I hope everyone is doing okay. So, we might head towards a recession, and the people that are going to be hardest hit are the poor people. Of the poorest Americans, the lowest 20% of households, they spend 28.8% to 42.6% of their money on food before tax. So if you are in the poorest 20% of the nation, you probably know that. And you've probably said, I can't save any money. What are you, nuts? I don't have enough money as it is. So what has to happen is we are going to have to evolve and adapt. Many of you have heard about Agenda 2030. Let's just assume that there's some credence to this claim, and that if you are here, you are in a very high risk group. Okay, so what are you going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to find a way to save some money, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to go to the food banks and you're going to get all the food you can with the goal in mind that you're not going to spend any money. So this is going to free up some money. Just going to do it. And you're not, like Dave Ramsey is called an emergency fund. No, it's a survival fund if you're poor. So you're going to go to the food banks. I had no intention. I knew I was poor until they took at least 10% of my money and said, that's okay, you can go to the food banks. You can have EBT. So the prudent thing to do, they want you to get your food at a food bank. Go to the food bank. Say to yourself, I'm not paying any money for food if I can avoid it. I am that poor. So now I have an emergency meal plan, fish sticks and rice. I searched around and I found a big bag of fish sticks. You can make sandwiches, fish sticks and rice, fish sticks and macaroni and cheese. So meal one, a fish stick meal. Meal two, breakfast meal. Eggs, bacon. And then I searched around and I found these grits for $1. I think it was a grocery outlet, 12 packets. So you can have eggs, biscuits, grits, if you have some meat. You can substitute some cheese, soup and sandwich, some kind of homemade soup or some kind of hamburger or fish burger or chicken burger and soup, any kind of soup. Number 4, top ramen. Okay, you can make a top ramen meal with top ramen and you just put Vienna sausages in it and you have some bread. Or you can have top ramen, you mix an egg with a tablespoon of water and you mix it up and you stir it in like egg drop soup. Also, I did a video, Vienna sausages, and you just cut them in little penny type sizes with tomato, onion, and black pepper. In top ramen, cheese and a pat of butter, leftover meat and vegetables, anything you might like. Don't discount the cheese, a big pile of cheese and a little pat of butter in your top ramen. That's good too. Number 5, bean meal, canned beans or dry. Goulash, and I have 2 recipes. That's a good one. It's actually cheaper than spaghetti. And then number 7, tuna meal. You can make tuna casserole. You can make white gravy, 2 tablespoons margarine and 2 tablespoons flour. And then you cook the raw taste out of the flour, add milk little by little by little, and make a gravy and put your noodles and tuna in that. Tuna melt, tuna fish sandwich and chips. Anyway, a tuna salad, There's all kinds of things, and it's cheap. So these are like 7. If like, okay, like you're determined you're going to save a little money, you're going to get up and out of this rut somehow. So I'm going to be coming up with some emergency meal plans. Let's just say survival, okay? Okay, now here's my 2 goulash recipes. You can use hamburger or, leftover meat, potatoes, tomatoes, onion with a little butter and salt and pepper. You can make gravy. You can buy those packages of gravy and put that on it. The way I usually do it was I fry the hamburger and I fry potatoes. I don't fry them together. They don't actually fry at the same rate. Tomatoes, either fresh or canned. Onion, you want to fry those with your potato, and then salt and pepper or gravy. Gravy is great. Goulash number 2, hamburger, a can of tomatoes, but most of the time we use tomato sauce or tomato paste. You add water, salt, pepper, and sugar, and then in your hamburger you put onion and green pepper. In the day, I'm pretty sure it was tomato sauce. It's really cheap. You can use turkey burger in these too. Now, so you want to be saying, okay, this is not moving in a good direction. Food might go up. So let's start about like a basic stockpile. Canned soup. They can still be found for 50 cents, and there's also 50-cent packages at Walmart. So soup, canned or dry fruit. What you want to do is learn how to dehydrate. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can dehydrate in your oven. I find small pieces are the easiest. I want to show you something if I can. I can't. I wanted to show you my dehydrated squash. What I did was I cut squash in small pieces, and I boiled them in boiling hot water for a minute, and thank you to the follower, for 2 minutes. And then I took them out and I put them in ice cold water. I had ice in the water for about 1 minute, and then I drained them and I dehydrated them. Some of them have to be, you have to, I don't know what that's called, but you have to cook them before you can dehydrate them, and it turned out really good. So you can also, on this one, can vegetables or dry vegetables. Dehydrate your vegetables. Dried beans, rice, cereal. I buy cereal marked down. Any kind. These are good, and you can have an egg meal with this, with some nuts and some raisins, or seeds and raisins, and some toast. Okay. So cereal, peanut butter. I buy them a lot of times on sale or at Dollar Tree. Jam. You can make your own jam with canned fruit. You just drain it, and you cover it with water and cook it down, and then chop it. I put sugar to taste, and chop it with the side of your spatula, and then when it's jam-like, turn it off and add a little lemon. 9 powdered milk. 10 nuts and seeds. Just get a couple bags. Pasta, and 12 spaghetti sauce. So this is a good way to start. So what I do is I buy stuff continuously, so I will show you what I bought today, and I will tell you why I bought what I bought today. If I hadn't had any food last month, it would have been worse. The kind of job I had, you never knew. Okay, so I'm stockpiling a little Diet Coke because I'm a Diet Coke drinker. I'm stockpiling oil. The big one is actually cheaper, but I don't want anything happening to my oil. I bought these at Walmart. Walmart has the powdered milk, 3 packages for $3. And I bought one of these salts because you need salt. I bought 2 packages. I like this one. This isn't the cheapest one, but this is a good one. I use that like for burritos. You know, burritos are very cheap. And then on the markdown bin, I got this hair conditioner. So I bought, let's see, all this stuff, the vegetable oil, $1.84, the salt, $48, the milk, $2.98, the soda, $74 plus 10 cents for the bottle, the taco seasoning, 67 cents each, and I guess that was it. So $8.59. So that's what I bought today. Every day or two, I buy something. You know, I've been doing a lot of 50-cent shopping, but you also want some food that's not super cheap, especially in items that you need for survival. It's going to be very bad if you run out of oil, really bad. And if you have long hair and you run out of hair conditioners, that could be very bad too. Okay, no. What? I don't want my followers suffering unnecessarily. So this is what I stockpile at all times: powdered milk and evaporated milk. A lot of times your evaporated milk can be used in evaporated milk, and cheese can be used in place of meat. I make hamburger helper meals, and I will add evaporated milk and cheese and maybe some olives or maybe some mushrooms. Margarine in the freezer is bad if you run out of margarine because, you know, you want to scramble some eggs or you want to have some butter on your toast. Oil, you do not want to run out of oil. I stockpile lard and shortening and lunch meat. So lunch meat and cheese, because you can eat your lunch meat on your salad or a sandwich. So that those are what I make sure to stockpile. Okay, now these are some things to remember. The less hands that touch your food, the better. In fact, if the only hands that touch your food are yours, all the much better. Avoid common bins. You know, a lot of health food stores have these common bins. I would avoid those. You know, people put their hands in them all the time. Avoid smorgasbords. That goes without saying. Salad bars. Forget it. Potlucks. Sorry, you can't make it. I mean, just until, you know, the coast is clear, which will be never. 4, dehydrate food. You know, they're trying to avoid food wastage in some of the Asian countries. And unless you dehydrate the food, if you get a lot of fresh food, it's going to spoil. And so when I went to the food bank, they gave us a massive amount of food. And I was thinking, I wonder if some of that is due to people letting the food spoil. There was this guy, you know, just the scruffiest looking guy. I stopped by to get a soda after the food bank, and I said, you know, they're giving food away. And he goes, yeah, but I don't cook. I can only carry as much as, you know, I have no way to keep it. And I thought, you know what, you can ask them to give you non-perishable food if possible. You know, some of the fruit will last, you know, some of the stuff will last like 2-3 days. I think the food is really designed for a 3-day period, and even fresh food can last 3 days. Another thing is, you know, my friends told them I don't cook. And in some cases that's legitimate, but I mean, even if you boil the food, that's better than nothing. Also, I've done many videos on like creating an oven. If you have a big pan, a big flat pan of some sort, all you have to do, I'm looking for mine and I can't find it. Here is a good example. What you would do is you would put your food in a big pan. Say if you wanted to dehydrate or bake your food, And then you just make a foil tent. And you can put it on low on a barbecue or on top of the stove. And you can dehydrate or bake. I did a lot of car living videos. I might do some more of those. We'll see. Okay, now try to aggressively find 50-cent cans and packages. Those are really going to stretch your budget. Consider damaged containers like dented cans or ripped packages. They're way cheaper. Find drastically reduced food. No, don't buy food that's just reduced a tiny bit. No, if you're going to get food that's anything but in perfect condition, look for a drastically reduced price. Then it's a good deal. If you're paying full price for food, watch the expiration date. Don't pay full price for any food that's nearly ready to expire. Okay, you guys, I will be back with more. Honestly, if you fall here, you can save some money because you can aggressively pursue free food. You might not be able to do it right away because you might not have gas to get to the places, but what you're going to do is you're going to find somebody to go with. And you know, be thinking about it as survival and not a joke. A survival fund. It may mean your life and death. Okay, you guys. Oh, and if you have any good comments as to how, I mean, I'm sure some people who hear this go, you are a bunch of losers. You need to work hard. Okay, what if there is a massive job loss and you're just trying to pay the rent, you know, so you can stay in one piece? How about me? Under normal conditions, I should have been left in this house without one bite of food. They say the average person has 3 days food. By the time I called the lady, it had been about 3 weeks. And the first thing she said was, do you have any food? Can you imagine some elderly person? I really can. I wouldn't want to imagine it, but anything can happen, so you want to make sure so you have food. So if you have any comments, please leave them. It doesn't have to be nice. If this irritates you, that's fine. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.